This will work better. Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds. I'm Nerdist Dave, joined by all these fine nerds tonight. We've got, of course, myself and Nerdarchist Ted in the house, and Stephen Partridge, as well as Robin Miller. Hey, and we're not in the right places. So should have picked that up earlier before we actually started.
Oh no.
But that's fine. I'm going to throw it to our illustrious zookeeper, Stephen Partridge. Tell him about all the things why I move people around. Please.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody to Zoo Mafia. I can speak. Zoo Mafia Blood Moonshine. Yeah. This is just how today is going, I guess. This is a wild and wacky campaign full of horror and thrills. So, if blood and other such eccentricities aren't your jam, like full disclosure, we're doing that. There are monsters, there is mayhem, and there are sound effects and good music provided by Sirenscape. We love Sirenscape. I use it to manage all of our sound effects and whatnot. I like to kind of assemble my own sounds, which you can do, which is really cool. Highly recommend it. So we're going to start out by having me roll one of our lovely Zoo Mafia dice. This one is Owl Capone, the ally die, because I'm feeling in a generous mood tonight. It'll be a D3. We'll see who's going to recap for us. That is Robin. So, Robin, take it away, please.
Okay. Last time we played Zoo Mafia Blood Moonshine, I remember that my friend had the lead in the play. Alex, I recall that. And that's all that is the one detail that sticks out to me from the entire adventure, and that's ridiculous. Ted, help me.
Absolutely. So I am Nerdarchist Ted. Tonight I'll be playing Alejandro, the Jaguar Button. And because we haven't mentioned it, we are in our final 48 hours for the Kickstarter. Link is going to be down in the description below. If you want to get in on this game and make it a reality, please go check out that link. If if you can, share it out. Send it to all of your gaming buddies that might be into a game like this, so that we can make this a thing happen. Previously on, our party, our mob, if you will, was kidnapped by one Bunny Malone, and we were kind of, shanghaied into working for them. We had found out that Carlo Hambino had pretty much met a sticky end, and we kind of believed that Bunny was the one behind it. And the only way for us to kind of move forward is to basically say that we're working for her right now. We were sent off on a task that we were able to accomplish, and it's like, oh, good. Now that you got that out of the way, here's, my little friend. We're gonna, have you do the actual real mission. That last one was just kind of a bit of a teaser. And with that, let me, bounce it on over to Dave.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, we kind of got animal kidnapped by Bunny Malone, and also she claims she did a favor for us by cleaning up our mess. Our mess being the fact that we broke one of the 6 rules of the zoo when we made a big mess down at the aquarium, and she brought in her fixers to fix it. So, that was part of it. So we had to go and do a job for Bunny Malone, our tryouts, and I'm not so sure that she was involved with the demise of Carlo Hambino, because it very much looked like another scene from The Predator, where that's been a ongoing kind of serial killer thing that's been happening in the zoo. So it's very possible that it was Bunny Malone, or it could be this other thing that has been causing a lot of problems. And by the way, I'm going to be playing a Lookout, one of our playbooks, and I'm playing Freddy, and he's a sugar glider. I just thought I should mention that. Then I'm going to throw it to our zookeeper,
I remembered something else, Steven. Can I slide
yes,
something else in there?
Please do.
I remember at the last moment we found Samson in this like really ridiculous, like villainous plot, and he was about ready to be dropped into the water with some sharks. And then we got in the water with the sharks, and I used one of them as a meat shield. I remember that.
Yep.
Too.
Yep. You used a lone shark as a meat shield. And yeah, you guys made it back with Samson in tow. Currently, your buddy Carl.
Oh, there was so much other stuff.
held...
Now it's all coming back in a flood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Barnaby apparently made a displacer beast, sort of, out of an octopus and a panther. Matter of fact, not any panther.
Oh, that's right.
The panther Ebony, who went missing, who was basically an escort. And we also uncovered that Franny, my ex, is now working for the feds.
Oh my god.
So much stuff happened last session. I don't know how. So much stuff
happened last session.
It did. Yeah.
It got stuck by cramming it into my head.
Yeah. And your buddy Carl is currently being held as leverage to get you guys to do these jobs effectively for Bunny Malone. She has actually introduced you now to a jerboa that has showed up. You see this tiny little maybe mouse, maybe kangaroo mouse, but it has long ears, and she has a blonde bob and a little hat and a vest, and she's carrying a bag. And I will say that those of you who are inclined to wield weapons, so our button, I suppose, you would be able to notice that specifically she has a lot of explosives packed very densely and neatly in this bag. And Bunny Malone looks at all of you and says, "This is my adoptive daughter, Ears."
I take it she's the demolition crew.
She is a safecracker, and I need her to get something that was taken from us. Something that is rather important to my particular plans. That being said, she needs some protection, and from what I understand, all of you lot are good for protection. So when I saw the opportunity, I hopped right on it. She needs to break into a safe, but no ordinary safe, you see. She needs to break into the evidence locker of the G-Force's main headquarters.
You don't mess around.
And she needs all of you to get her there to do it. I have a schematic of the G-Force's main headquarters, we'll say. And I will be happy to provide this for you, provided you give me your word that you will return me my daughter in one piece. Capiche?
Ma'am, we will do absolutely everything we can.
Yeah, I don't think we can make that promise to you, considering what you're asking us to do. Like Jasper Jade said, we'll do our best, but we're going right into the lion's den there.
Take care of it myself anyway. I don't know why you think I need them. And
see, she doesn't even need us.
Ears, you need them. You're not doing this by yourself. All right? What do the rest of you say?
I say even the best of us needs a team.
If you can do this job for me, I'll let your friend go. Unharmed.
Generous of you. And it sounds like a challenge. What do you guys think?
Well, I think if we want Carl back, we don't have much of a choice.
So, here. And she will hand the schematics to Probably Jade, because you seem to be the one that's kind of at the forefront right now of the interaction.
I'll roll that up and place it in my interior jacket pocket with a little cant of the head. Actually, I'm Jade right now. I don't have a jacket on. Purse.
Okay. Sure thing. So she then looks to her many enforcers around. And just to be absolutely clear, if any harm should befall my daughter, the same harm will befall all of you, starting with your friend.
Choice here.
What'd you say? Sorry, Ted.
So it sounds like we don't have much of a choice here, but let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And we will consider our account squared thereafter. So, good luck to you. Ears, behave yourself and listen to these people. They're the safety experts. And she just kind of like lowers her ears and kind of like looks, like squints. She is not happy about this.
So, like, none of us actually have a space per se. We just use like, for illicit dealings. Like, we've just been using our enclosure or whatever. But apparently Bunny does. Perhaps, ma'am, you'd allow us to use a room or something so that we might sit down, look over the schematics, and do some planning.
Of course. And she will have one of her sheep on the lamb take you over to this horse stall that has been converted into a sort of office.
Nice. I will put my hand out. Jasper, if you would be so kind. Or no, you're Jade right now. Jade, if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, I will unravel those schematics on the table so we can all get a look.
Okay. Ears is not going with you guys. Because apparently she kind of already knows what her part in this is. And it's mostly just up to her to listen to you guys to get her in.
Okay. So I believe this is the start of a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is time for me to take a look at the schematics and also put my network of ears and eyes to use. And I'll see if I can't take the information from the schematic, put my feelers out amongst my friends in the zoo, and see what we can come up with. Well, we got doubles, folks. We've got doubles.
Okay.
And let's see. Oh, I do appear to be carrying a -1 forward, so that's always good to know. And I have a 8. That'll bring it down to a 7.
Okay.
A 7 is going to be gain 2 holds. Since it's a it's a playbook move for me, so it's got special rules. So I get to ask 2 questions.
All right. And you said you had doubles, right?
I do have doubles, yes.
No bosses?
No bosses.
Okay, so you get a -1 forward and give a +1 forward.
All right. You know what? I am going to give the +1 forward to Alejandro.
Okay.
He seems. I have a thing that I can. I have a thing that I can do. So getting an additional +1 would be useful here. Thank you.
Okay.
So if you guys will allow me, I will describe the schematics for you.
Okay.
Please do.
Just do so.
So the schematics are pages upon pages of blueprints. Specifically starting with the food court. The food court is a plaza of pillared buildings with a hodgepodge of decor from various parts of the world. The most prominent feature are twin lion statues heavily stylized guarding the entrance of the stories tall building. Inside, the building has a massive chandelier dangling on iron chains composed of wooden rings that hold sconced electric lights. Said chandelier sits at level with a balcony, which composes a massive dining area with tables and chairs. During the nightlife, this area is used for offices, sectioned off by the bamboo walls and cubicles that offer a modicum of privacy for diners. The food court is an organization, or as an organization, is the main legislative body, dispensing justice and popcorn in equal measure. It's run by the Scales of Justice, a reptilian faction which propagates the stereotype that their cold-blooded nature allows them to remain detached and impartial in their rulings. The main counters where food is dispensed during the day are repurposed to function as judges' benches. Tables and chairs are repositioned to accommodate seating for juries. The schematics reveal the second page has a labyrinthine compound beneath the food court proper. The only access points behind back doors behind the judges' benches, which allow access to the headquarters of the G-Force. This headquarters is used for food storage as well as an evidence locker. Locked up behind layers of preventative measures from the many thefts of food over the years, mostly by your fellow animals, this place is secure. Doors upon doors stand in your way, each mechanical in nature, with brutally intricate locking mechanisms. The first door is one composed of bars like a jail cell. A massive, intricate lock prevents passage to the next set of doors, solid and robust. The second set is a double set of iron doors that lock in the cold. This place is refrigerated for ice cream and evidence alike. And the last door is a massive hunk of steel that is blocked almost entirely by a complicated rotary lock, the primary safe door. This is the place you have to break into.
Lovely. So I have a thing called stakeout.
Okay.
So you can get into places and bypass certain elements of security. So I would like to roll that if I could.
Sure.
So I'm able to gain. I'll use my my 4 that I got from Dave, and I'm able to gain 1 hold.
Okay. So you're going to use the last bit of this evening to stake out the area?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And Dave, what did you want for your holds?
All right. So group, what do you think we need to? What do you think we should ask our zookeeper? What information do we want to try and get from him?
We need to know where we can get the combinations to some of these locks, because correct me if I'm wrong, but Ears is only doing the safe door, correct?
Yes, that is the primary one she's intending on doing.
So we need to know where to get the methods and the means to open the others.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I missed it. Did you say what kind of locks they use? Whether they are like combination locks, like a safe, or just keys?
So all of them are mechanical in nature. The first one does have a key. The second one has a combination lock you might see on like a locker where you have to like spin the numbers. Yep. And then the last one is a rotary lock, more like you would see in a typical safe.
Okay. So I actually know where we could probably get a lot of information or ways to bypass some of this stuff. I just think Flick would be hesitant to use that source.
So
you're so evil, Steven.
For my hold, I plan on looking at like what kind of elements of resistance are we going to be up against.
Okay. So you want to use your hold to know what other elements of security there are besides just the locks and safe doors.
Right. Are we going to be up against agents? Like, are there people moving about, or are these for the most part? Is it going to be dead space and it's just getting through those doors is the only thing you got to do?
Okay, there are absolutely other elements of security here. For starters, there are the bailiffs and the judges you have to actually get past because each judge sits in front of the door to get to the labyrinthine underground. So you'll have to get past that first. Then there are G-Force agents crawling through this complex. Bear in mind, it's like a maze of offices, and the safe door is just located in the heart of it. So you're going to have to get to the middle of these office buildings, either unseen or otherwise unnoticed by all these agents before you even get to the doors.
All right. What I want to know is, my first hold is there a ventilation system that we can access?
There is absolutely a ventilation system you can access.
Do we think Alejandro will fit in it? What if we grease him up?
Oh my god.
I'm going to say no.
As long as his whiskers fits it, it'll go.
It would be the sort of thing that would be highly uncomfortable for him and would maybe put the mission in jeopardy if he were to roll poorly in his attempt to crawl through the vents.
His big kitty booty is going to be in the way.
So I'm not going to say no, but I am going to say it will be a risk factor.
Yeah. Like I'm just
a good way to handle that.
I'm just envisioning like a heating dunk falling with him in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's easy. I just turn off this little camera thing here. And you all three small races, you guys got this. I'll make a distraction outside,
Listen, that Steven gave that loving description of that chandelier because it is an option to knock it over, and I am so tempted in honor of a new, this isn't even the right campaign for that.
I know.
Do it anyway.
Do it first, Anita. She'll be so proud of you.
Did you see the look on my face when you started describing that chandelier, Steven? Because I was already there at that moment. I'm seriously considering it. At the very least, it would get the judges out of their seats.
It would. You're correct.
So, looking at the schematics, how long of a trek does it look like working our way through the ducts? Even if we bring the big booty kitty.
If you bring the big booty kitty, it will probably take you another half again of time to be careful. That being said, going strictly through the ducts would probably take you about twice as long as if you walked. And if you walked, it would take you about 15 minutes.
All right. But going through the ducts could bypass the security measures as well.
Yes. That 15 minutes accounts for you blending in perfectly and everyone just believing you are where you're supposed to be. Yes. From the time you enter the food court to the time you get to the safe.
Yeah, well, some of us will be much better at that than others. All right. Okay, so we still have one hold left to use.
Yeah. And bear in mind, I will just throw this out there as the zookeeper. Not everyone has to take the same way in. Not everyone has to go through the ducts if some people do. Not everyone has to go through the front door if some people do. You can do this how you want to do this. You can get creative and wild.
Alejandro,
it's Zoom Mafia.
Yeah. Alejandro, how do you feel about getting busted by the G-Force?
Have me arrested?
Well, I happen to know an agent. If we put you at the right place at the right time with the right circumstances, they'll be forced to bring you in. And we could spring you on our way out. Or,
assuming they don't just trank him.
Well, I guess that's a good... is that standard... What is standard procedure, Zookeeper?
So, that the G-Force is more... Their reputation just by itself is more brutal and ruthless than the Fuzz. The Fuzz will arrest you. They follow rules. They are mostly mammalian. They have that sort of compassionate mammalian thing that dogs have a lot of times, That's kind of built into their organizational structure. So like they'll put you in handcuffs, they'll put you on the ground if you resist, but they're not going to like bloody you up or torture you. The G-Force, conversely, is kind of known to be just as bad, and in some circles, rumors say worse, than the mafias themselves. They get their man and they get what they want one way or another. And if that means somebody ends up like brutally like murdered in a whole scene that the Fuzz finds later and no one can necessarily prove it was the G-Force, this is still what happens. They were brought in specifically because the prohibition efforts by the Fuzz have not been effective in the zoo thus far. In fact, it seems like prohibition has only caused speakeasies to thrive more.
So, probably not a good idea to intentionally get caught by these guys.
All right, so how about we use my last hold to figure out the best way to use Alejandro as a distraction.
Okay. Well,
at Zoo Mafia, and we always split the party, and I don't feel like we've been doing it enough. So
it's fair, we have not been.
So, you want to know what exactly specifically for your hold?
I want to know the best use of Alejandro as a distraction that won't get him killed.
Alejandro's a button. Buttons are good at shooting things. In theory, if it were sabotaged just a little bit, you could, as Robin so eloquently mentioned earlier, sabotage that chandelier to be able to be shot from who knows where by a sharpshooter and get that chain to break and the entire thing would crash and fall.
If only we had a very small creature with flight capabilities.
All right, I think we have a plan.
Okay. So, are you guys all done with your planning session, as it were?
I think so.
Okay, so after you guys get done looking over the schematics, you make this plan. Alejandro spends the rest of the evening scouting out this place so that he really knows the ins and outs of who's here and who you're going to have to deal with as far as security beyond just the locks. And so, Alejandro, you've got a good grasp of that. Jade, you have got yourself situated and ready to go. You know your position in this. And Flick, similarly, you've got this figured out. You know how you're going to distract things. You guys just got to get Ears in there to get started on the safe. And then you have to keep Ears safe / protected, hidden, whatever, while she breaks into the safe.
Piece of cake.
Yep. So, does anyone want to do anything else for the evening before sunrise? It isn't too far off.
I tuck my sisters in.
Okay.
Life happens. It doesn't stop just because we're doing crimes.
Right. Exactly. Anyone else?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. So, you guys finish your day out. The zoo day happens, as it always does. Patrons coming and going. And once again, night falls. Do you guys get an early start, or do you wait until midnight heals you up as it does?
I'm all the way healed, so I'm good for getting an early start.
Also, if we do get injured in the process of doing this, then like having a refresher about halfway through wouldn't be terrible.
Okay. So you guys are choosing to just go into the food court then?
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you guys approaching this? Are you walking through the front door? Are you sneaking in?
I think we're going to need to sneak in, and man, this really sucks because I'm actually unstable.
Oh, I wish you would have said something about that before we came.
So, are you guys trying to blend in?
I thought I was getting arrested first, Dave. What did we decide not to go that plan?
Oh, we decided not to get you arrested because the G-Force are brutal.
Yeah, they might murder you instead of arrest you. Yeah, that's fine. We got this. So I will try to stand in the gaps in order to hide on my way in.
Okay, go ahead.
It should be fine. I only have a -2 to this roll. All right. Oh, that's right. That is going to be a 11 with doubles. Ally and neutral boss showing.
Okay. So you got a 10 plus with doubles. So you got the ally boss, so you gain a marker back.
Woohoo.
And then you have the neutral boss. So everyone gets a +1 forward.
Woo.
That'll come in handy.
All right. So you stand in the gaps. You just follow the crowd and you get in pretty easily. As far as anyone's concerned, I mean, you're a known private investigator. Maybe you're here for one of the cases. Maybe you suspect something's up, or maybe you're just here to be here. No one thinks too much about you being here. What about you? Are you Jasper or Jade right now, Robin?
Well, I mean, like, if we're taking the framework of potentially hiding in plain sight, definitely Jade.
Okay. So, how are you coming into this? You just walking in? You trying to get up to the chandelier to be sneaky, or are you doing something else?
Oh, I'm just walking in. Like, I'm acting like there is nothing wrong. I am walking with the purpose as though I am supposed to be here and just going to bank on no one questioning me.
Okay. Let's call this start spitting then. Because this is kind of like a performance you're doing.
Theoretically, I'm good at that. 10.
10. All right. Nobody notices you. Nobody thinks twice. You are a bat with business. And what about Alejandro?
So first and foremost, Big Bessie is being left at home because you shouldn't be walking around in the fuzz with a big old illegal submachine gun.
Probably not.
So,
yeah.
I'm gonna just try and be chill and try to blend in as best as I can possibly do.
Okay. Are you trying to smuggle a weapon in here?
Absolutely.
All right, then I need you to commit a caper.
All right. I don't like the look of these dice. So that is going to be a 9 with triples.
Okay. All right. So that means you get a success with consequence and you have triples. So you give one of your markers to another player.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I am going to be out of this game before too long, guys.
Well, so that's an interesting point to bring up right now. So in this particular game, if you run out of markers, it doesn't necessarily mean you're straight up removed from the game, but it does mean that more bad things are going to happen to your character specifically. And it lets me do things that I wouldn't otherwise do as a GM, like rip your heart out in very horrible ways, not necessarily literally for your character.
Oh dear.
Like there's a reason I wanted you to make NPCs that you care about. And they can be at risk if you lose all your markers. Because there is a predator out there, as we've mentioned.
So the rumor says, yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we all made it in.
Yep, everybody made it in. However, you do have a consequence, Ted. So I'm going to let you tell me. Does Alejandro get spotted with his weapon? Or does he get spotted by someone else, not necessarily his weapon getting spotted, but just he gets noticed by someone who knows him. And I'll roll a D3 to determine who that is. And it could be someone you like, and it could be someone you don't like.
It's definitely going to be getting noticed. I don't want someone noticing my weapon.
Okay. So, do you want high or low?
Let's go high.
All right. It is high. So, as you are walking through this door, you're just starting to come up to the stairway that leads up to the balcony, where the office is and the better access to the chandeliers and everything. And you feel a hand on your shoulder, a paw, actually. And, what do you do?
I'll turn casually and look and see who the paw is.
All right. And you see Pedro. Would you like to describe Pedro for everyone?
You can do it. I'm
Okay. So Pedro is another jaguar. This one, he has his whiskers are actually twisted into almost like a pencil mustache style. He wears very unassuming clothing. He's wearing a mismatching suit here today, with the jacket being a different color from the pants. The suspenders don't match the tie. He's not very well to do, but he's really trying to look presentable here. And you see that he notices you. Is like, oh, what are you doing here?
just having a look around. How's things, my friend?
Oh, not great. I got stopped by the fuzz the other day. Was speeding.
Do tell. What did they haul you in, or was it just a bit of a warning?
Well, I admit I was speeding, but I was speeding because I was running away.
From what?
You know that I try to stay out of your life. I try to stay out of that life. But at the same time, you know, I was thirsty. I wanted a drink. And it just so happened that I was going over to the Blind Pig the other night. I smelled blood. And I saw blood on the floor a little bit under the door. And then I saw you coming, and I was about to say something until I noticed a pair of eyes in the bushes. And when I saw that pair of eyes, it saw me back. It looked directly at me. And he kind of like, you see his entire expression just kind of like falls a little bit, and he looks around back and forth. He's like, the predator's real.
There's been a lot going on, and I'm not willing to offer up any disputes at the moment. I saw some of the mess left behind at the Blind Pig, so you know that you got to be cautious around these places, because you know some of the cops ain't right here either.
Yeah. But Alejandro, the predator isn't a big cat like us. Everyone thinks it's a lion or a tiger or something else. It's not. It's small.
It's small and making this kind of mess?
It moved with some kind of supernatural speed and agility. It's almost like it melded with the shadows itself. It was so strange. I've never seen anything like it. And one moment I was looking at a pair of eyes that saw me back, and the next moment I felt a breath on my neck, and I ran, and I got in my golf cart, and I sped away, and the fuzz caught me while I was speeding away. I thought it was better to be arrested than to get caught by whatever that thing was.
Sure. What did you say to them? Did you make up some kind of story about, needing to get back to the enclosure? Or...
No, I told them what happened. They didn't believe me. Who would believe that a tiny creature was able to move faster than you could blink?
I've seen crazy things, not only here at the zoo, but out in the wilds before I was brought in. So I certainly understand your beliefs and your concerns. But before too long, I imagine someone will do something about whatever it is that's causing all of this. I think you should try to keep your head down, as you've been doing, and try to keep out of things that are gonna get you in trouble one way or the other.
Right. And he kind of like, he's rubbing this bracelet he's wearing. He's like, I want them to believe me. I can't afford this ticket. That's why I came, was to more or less plead to not have to pay it. I can't afford to pay. I can't afford to be locked up. I can barely afford to feed my family. I work in the factory.
How much is the ticket?
It's 100 peanuts.
You do what you gotta do, and if it doesn't get thrown out, then I'll see what I might be able to do to assist. You know me, I don't have the family that needs support, and I've got some connections.
I don't want you to have to dip into your less savory options for me. I've tried to stay out of that life entirely.
I know, but it comes to either the kids don't have food, or the fuzz starts giving you problems. I'd rather have it paid and dealt with rather than this looming over your head.
I don't know what to say. I worry about you, but thank you.
Yeah.
Be careful.
It is what it is, and I wouldn't trade this for a normal life. It's just not for me.
All right.
So
thank you.
A pat on the back, and an encouraging smile, and offer him a good day as I continue on.
Thank you. And he will turn and walk away. So you didn't get noticed by anyone nefarious or that noticed your weapon. So you guys are now in the food court. What are you doing?
Okay, which of us is babysitting ears? That's me, right? Because it's Flick that's going to do the chandelier, and we've got Alejandro on distraction detail. Is that what we decided?
Alejandra's going to shoot the chandelier down.
Right, but we need to loosen it first.
Yep. And here's the thing. You would be babysitting Ears if you'd seen her yet.
Oh, good.
She's not here yet.
I am low-key convinced that she's the predator and I'm gonna get eaten, by the way.
Maybe.
That is hilarious.
So where's your ward? Where's your ward at, Jade?
But F if I know.
This is not a great start for us.
Oh, it sure isn't. I checked my purse just to make sure.
Okay.
I don't think she's that tiny.
She's not in your purse, but I do want everyone to put their peepers to work.
All right. In theory, I'm good at this. Still have a -1. All right. Well.
10 again, and I have doubles this time. No bosses showing though.
All right. So that means you're going to get a +1 forward.
All right. Well, I've got an 8.
I need to fail more often. I never get experience.
With the double.
8 with doubles. So you get a success with a consequence. You get a -1 forward, and you can give a +1 forward.
All right. Well, I am hanging out with Jade right now, so Jade can have a +1.
Thank you.
Okay.
And my doom
I
spiral
also have
has
an 8
begun.
with no doubles.
So what did you get, Ted? I'm sorry.
I have just an 8, no doubles.
8, no doubles. So you get success with consequence. So let me ask you guys, did you tell Ears about your plan? Does she know the plan?
She was with us when we were making it.
Okay,
No, she
just
wasn't.
making sure.
Oh, no.
I mean,
she
she wasn't with us, but we would have filled her in.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 2 consequences at play and everyone succeeds. So the success is going to be everyone knows where Ears is. So everyone's going to get to know where Ears is. One of the consequences is specifically for Flick. Flick, you see as your eyes drift up to the chandelier, you are a flying creature, so that's where you would go. You see there is a load of dynamite that has been planted up on the chandelier and is on a timer right now.
Oh, wait a minute. I withdraw this because I thought you were going to do something else.
No. The second consequence is for Alejandro. Alejandro, you are the first to see Ears, and everyone else follows your gaze to see her as well. As you notice, she is now entering the G-Force complex as she slips in a door behind one of the judges and is far ahead of you guys.
Oh.
What a
Ain't that
little
grand.
shit.
So yeah, that's what we got going on right now. And I need everyone to tell me one thing they want to do in response to this, and just one, because then something else is going to happen. So whoever wants to go first.
Right, since no one else is going, the doorway that the Jerboa just slipped through, is that like a small hallway that leads to this door, or is that a door along a big wall?
It's a full-size door behind a rather large and familiar alligator or crocodile. He actually, Judge Gator was at the Great Goatsby's party back in session 1 with his very chatty wife, if you remember. And he is now presiding over a court case, and she has slipped in the door behind him as he came out. She's tiny enough, he did not notice.
Okay. Well, I want to, nonchalantly begin, placing myself in a, I want to begin making my way towards the door, but I want to be just kind of chill and nonchalant in my movement, leaning against the wall, looking around, observing what's happening. You said that there's a timer on the dynamite. Do I know how much time there is, or
about 5 seconds?
Okay. Well, what I'm doing then is I'm leaning against the wall, waiting for that to go off, and then I am going to lightning my way to that door while everybody is concerned with the boom.
Okay. Toss it to somebody else.
I'll throw it to Rob.
Oh no, I dropped my dice.
Yeah, I am also preparing to make a move since presumably we all know about this. I'm also gonna position myself so that I can watch the people up top and make sure that all of them leave like they're supposed to. I will delay my boom boom just a little bit before joining the others to make sure we're covered.
Okay.
I am going to make my way to the vent, like the plan, like it was my plan to do all along.
Okay.
And just for a better vantage point where I can see what's going on.
Okay. Awesome. So the explosion happens, the chandelier crashes, and in
Brand
a
new.
split second, everything is started up. So I need for Dave to commit a caper. I need for Alejandro to get out of a jam, and I need Jade to put her peepers to work.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
All right.
I just had
so
a
that is
cracked
gonna be
eye
an,
twice in a row.
Genuinely, this is the second time, like in a row, that I have rolled 5s on the 2 same dice. That's
Wow.
gonna be 10 again.
10, and with doubles.
With doubles.
You get a +1 forward.
have an 11 with doubles.
An 11 with doubles. You get a +1 forward.
I almost had doubles, but it was cracked.
Giving out +1 forwards like your Oprah.
I know, right? You get a +1 forward.
You get a
and
+1
you get a
forward.
+1
You get a
forward.
+1 forward.
Everyone gets a +1 forward.
So I rolled a 10. I have
10.
a +1. That's an 11. But I'm currently rocking a -2. So that's a 9.
A 9.
That's
Okay.
how math works.
So we'll get to you last. Firstly, Alejandro, you bolt. As the chandelier explodes, everything erupts into chaos. Judge Gator hides under his judge's bench.
Oh,
so
if only
he's
I had a camera.
cowering. The bailiffs
great
are
blackmail.
all drawing their guns because the bailiffs come from the fuzz. So you start hearing howling and all sorts of mammalian racket as the bailiffs start frantically scurrying around. The juries scatter like mice, and everything is thrown into chaos, and the door is left ajar. You manage to get through easily as a result. Jade, you're looking to see if anyone remains. And sure enough, there is someone who remains. Someone who you and your party are familiar with.
Oh no.
It is, in fact, Detective Lionel, I can't remember his last name now, but the Lion Detective from the Fuzz.
Is he, so go on, sorry.
Who apparently is here on some business of some sort, and Flick's consequence is he notices Flick as Flick heads into the vents. You see this.
All right. So I'm gonna, how do I distract this man so that I can make a quick getaway? Can I, grab the shoulders of someone near to him and just sort of, maneuver them into his path? Just give him a little push.
We'll say sure. Go ahead and get out of a jam. That's what that feels like to me. And it's Lionel Hampshire. Detective Lionel Hampshire is the one.
That's gonna be 10 again, no doubles this time.
10. Okay. So you actually see there is a one of the Stricter pair. Connie Stricter is here on some business of her own of some sort. And you see her slithering away, and you just sort of casually spread a wing so that she has to go around you. In the process of her going around you, she slithers in the way of Detective Lionel Hampshire, who entangles his feet within her body. And the two of them start tumbling as he was trying to race toward Flick and wasn't really paying much attention. We all see where that goes when you don't pay much attention, especially in a zoo where people can be pretty much any height, right? So, and any body shape. So he is now entangled, and Connie Strichter is doing the whole harumphing and huffing a good lady would do upon being quite affronted that anyone would not pay attention. Exactly. There would be pearl clutching if she had hands to clutch the pearls.
And then I follow on after.
Here in Zoo Mafia, we do not let that stop us from clutching our pearls.
I almost wore my pearl necklace tonight. I wish I would have, so I could clutch it. I'm clutching it in spirit. So, yes, you guys have just a hodgepodge going on, and you all managed to get into the complex. So, you are here. You are through the doors, and everyone seems to be scurrying even back here. They have heard that something has happened, and so you start hearing this siren starts wailing as this red light starts flashing, and there are red lights everywhere in this complex. They are showing that there is danger somewhere, and so everything is going into lockdown mode.
We're going to need to move quickly. Scurry as you move. That is the equilibrium here right now. If you look panicked, no one will question it. Let's go.
Back forward, then.
All right. Everyone get out of a jam.
Hey, this is a happy thing. So I have a 12 with doubles and the ally boss showing.
A 12 with doubles and the ally boss showing. We love that. So that means you get a critical success and you gain a marker.
I also have a 12, but I do not have doubles, and I think that's the end of that statement. Sorry.
Okay. So both of you easily make your way to where the vault is. We'll get there in a minute. What did you get, Dave, for Flick?
I also have doubles.
Okay.
I do not have a 12. I have an 8.
An 8. So I'm going to let you choose.
42.
Do you fall out of the vents and draw attention from someone, has a chance of being someone that is less bad and someone who's being very bad? Or would you rather that in the current process of everything going into lockdown, the vents actually themselves have grates that start shutting off and you get trapped in the vents?
I'm going to go with I fall out of the vent and I'm going to look like a whirligig. I don't know what they're actually called. You know, the leaves, the things you...
Oh, like the maple seeds?
Yeah, yes. The maple helicopters.
Yes.
Okay.
Like that.
So, do you want high or low?
You know what? Let's go low.
Low.
You know what they say, when they go high, you go low.
It's high. So, you, Flick, are scurrying through these vents as these grates start slamming behind you one after another. They have the air system on lockdown here when things are in emergency status. And you, because you're so focused on not getting your tail nipped by the grates, you don't realize that one of the air duct vents is loose and you fall straight through on top of none other than dear Franny.
Oh no.
Hey, doll, I've been missing you.
What? Flick, what are you doing here?
I heard the explosion. I was worried about you.
Get off of me.
I had to make sure you're okay. And I'm definitely gonna like act like I'm getting off of her, but definitely covering her face with my wing flaps as much as possible. And like basically entangling her up more than getting off.
Flick, you are going to get arrested or worse back here. What are you doing?
There was an explosion. I saw some shady characters hanging around. I was worried about you.
Yes, there was an explosion. explosion. That's why everything is locking down. We have to get to my office before we're locked out of it.
Where's your office at?
It's 2 doors down on the left and then a right.
So I will kind of like start pushing her in the direction she said.
Okay.
Show me the way.
All right. Come on. We'll sort this out in a minute. And she starts dragging you. Get out of a jam to see if you guys get there in time.
Oh, man. All right. So that's a 7. That's a 10. It's a 9.
Okay. So you get there on time. And so consequence, we'll say that you can choose. Does she notice your friends in the hallway down one passage just before you get to her office? Or alternatively, does she forget something important that she doesn't have with her now in her office?
She forgets something important.
Okay, so high or low?
Low.
It is low. So you guys get into her office just as
I would
this,
like to attempt something.
Okay, sure.
So what is the shutting mechanism? This is like grates dropping down, or?
Yeah, it's like these grates that are all dropping down.
Okay, I want to try and trip, stumble, and fall, so that we're separated.
Oh,
She's in the office and I'm not.
Okay, all right. So you stumble and fall. Give me. You can choose if you want to get out of a jam or if you want to commit a caper for this, because you're being sneaky, but you're also trying to like get away from her.
All right. Well, I'll go with get out of the jam because I'm better at that.
Okay.
But these dice do hate me. All right. So it is it's a 6. I got 3, so that's 9. But I'm -1, so it's an 8.
8. Okay. So I'm just gonna choose the consequence here real quick. You take a point of damage as the grate nips your tail. And you trip and actually cause both of you to stumble into her office just as the grate falls. And
okay. So I do not successfully separate from her.
Nope, you do not successfully separate from her. And she's like, "What is wrong with you? Get off of me!" And she's like slapping at you at this point. And you and you see she looks with horror as her badge is on the other side. And it just so happens that her badge is attached to a key. The key that looks like it goes to the grate so that you guys could get out when you want to.
Oh no, you're stuck with your ex-wife.
Yep, you are trapped with your ex-wife in her office until somebody finds you and lets you out.
I'm so excited.
So, how you doing, Franny?
I was doing significantly better before I ran into you.
Yeah, it seems to be our whole relationship at this point.
What are you doing down here?
I told you. I saw some shady characters heading this way, and I'm gonna describe random members of Machine Gun Otto's crew.
Okay. Flick, I do not care if it was a beaver or a buffalo. This is a restricted area. You cannot be here.
Well, you see, Franny, I'm always going to care about you no matter what. And you can't put restrictions like that on my heart.
I can absolutely put restrictions like that on your heart. It's called a divorce. We already did this.
No, not in that way. That's gross. Listen, we had a lot of history together, and things didn't work out. But that doesn't mean I don't care about you.
I mean, look, I am not getting sentimental here and now. I care about you two in a very platonic way. And we are going to get out of here one way or another. You are a shady fella. Figure out a way for us to get out of this locked office.
So I can see the badge and stuff on the other side of the grate.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have? What kind of office supplies does she have? I'm. You know what? I'm gonna build with paper clips, something to drag it back towards us. I'm gonna build a mini paper clip grappling hook.
I love this.
That's how very Violet Baudelaire of you. Let's go.
I know, right? This is great. Okay, get out of a jam.
I'm just gonna spend the marker to succeed.
Okay, you manage.
Try and roll.
You get this grappling hook fashioned. You toss it and drag everything. It's easy, and she's like, "How'd you do that?"
Well, you know, sometimes you get into a jam and you gotta get out of a jam. You use what you got available. Ted, it would have been failure with doubles. Had I rolled. The dice gods knew.
You know, I always knew you were good for something.
That's very kind of you to say, Franny.
Now, hurry up and get us out of here. Meanwhile, at the safe, I need for both of you to tell me something good that you find when you get to the safe doors and something bad that happens or that you find when you get to these safe doors.
You want to go first, Robin, or you want me to?
Oh, you go ahead. I'm thinking.
All right. So first and foremost, you know, the good is Ears is there, you know, doing whatever her part is to get the door open. And in the panic, you know, nobody else is really seeing this little Jerboa, you know, hard at work, being the little thief that she is.
Mm-hmm.
But the bad is there's other people back here.
Oh. So, what about you, Robin? What does Jade notice?
Okay. So the good thing that Jade notices is that our little Jerboa friend is making good headway on the safe door. But the bad thing that I notice is that the people that are back here are headed straight for her.
Oh, okay. So we're going to say that those people have not seen you two yet, but they have absolutely seen her, and they are approaching her to figure out what she's doing. They don't know what she's doing yet, but they know she's probably not supposed to be here. And we will roll a d6 to determine how many there are. There are 3.
So who are these individuals?
So these are G enforcers, all of them. One of them is a hippopotamus. One of them is a crocodile. And one of them is a peregrine falcon.
All right. Well, I want to know my target. So I'm good at assessing opponents at a glance.
Okay.
All right. So on a 10 plus, I get a +1 ongoing for the duration of the scene, as I apparently know things about these individuals.
Okay. So what you know is that none of them were prepared to fight. So they all have a sidearm, but they don't have like their full-on weaponry that they would normally possess. They aren't necessarily outfitted to face someone off. They are just like running out, and they happen to grab the sidearm so no one else would get to it.
Okay. So what do we do, Jay?
Take him out quick. Non-lethally if possible.
All right, well, I don't think this is going to be a take it out quick. If there's 3 enforcers here,
Okay.
But,
All right. Okay. Well, then in that case, you watch her back. I've got this. I say, trying to sound confident. I am not confident, but I am going to interpose myself, and I'm like fanning, and just oh my God, gentlemen. Okay, it's so good that you showed up. I need help. I don't know where I am. All of the doors are closing. How do we get out of here?
Oh, okay. Start spitting.
So while she does that, I'm going to step to the side to try to be unobserved.
Okay.
10 total.
10 total. They are fully buying this, and then they look at her and look at you, and the peregrine falcon sort of like points her wing from her to you, and it's like, are you two together then?
Huh? No, I just came back here because I was looking for the washroom.
This is not where you find the washroom, madam.
No,
and then
obviously this is not where I find the washroom. Where is the washroom? Why are all the doors closing? I heard a big explosion. Oh my God, what's going on? Can I get out a folding fan and just...
Yes, absolutely. You can church lady this as much as you want.
So who were they pointing at ears or pointing at me when they said, "Are you two together"?
They were pointing at ears.
Okay, I thought you said ears wasn't seen yet.
No, they don't know what ears is doing. They just see that ears is there.
Okay.
So when Jade made herself known, it's like, oh, two random ladies. Maybe they're, lost together or something. And you easily just duck behind a corner so they don't even notice you as they turn. So what are you going to do then? Are you going to let Jade kind of ride this one out, or are you going to shoot
Absolutely. I'm gonna let them, if she can get one or more of these people out of the room, I'll try to tangle with the enforcer if I have to. Best case scenario, she gets all three of them out of the way, and then I can help ears and get out of Dodge.
Okay. So you Jade, what story are you spinning now that they're kind of like, no, this isn't the washroom, you're not even supposed to be here?
Yeah, there was an explosion and then everyone was everywhere, and I absolutely just got lost in the swirl of colors and finely dressed folk here at this establishment. Everything was chaos for a moment. How can you expect someone to keep all of these hallways straight? It is a labyrinth in this place. Have they never heard of signage? And I'm just getting very Karen on them.
Okay. Let's see. The peregrine falcon is really kind of the main one talking to you right now, and she's like, so what about the washroom then?
Yes, you know where the washroom... Actually, I don't even know if I need to go anymore. This is terribly embarrassing. Is there one back here?
Yes. But right now, we need everyone to get into a secure location so that we can figure out what's happening upstairs, and then we'll go from there.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to wait that long.
And then the alligator sort of sidles up, and he's like, figure it out.
Well, all right, but I'm not the one that's going to be cleaning it up.
And the peregrine falcon turns to ears and sort of flutters a wing and is like, come on, you two, let's go. And ears, pick high or low.
High.
It's high. So do you want ears to attack and throw a what is essentially a Molotov cocktail at them, or do you want ears to scurry and flee?
Scurry and flee is probably the best option here.
Okay, so ears sort of looks to them, looks at you, sort of you notice and no one else notices. She just casually pulls these pins that she had in the lock and just slips them in her bag, and then darts And the gator looks over at the hippopotamus, and they're like, what do we? And then the peregrine falcon's like, go after her. And so the two of them start rushing after her. Meanwhile, Jay, do you have any injuries?
No.
Okay. So
wait, yes, I do.
Okay.
No, we're not past midnight yet.
Not yet.
So yeah, no, I do.
But Flick, as you're doing this, Franny's just kind of like, talking to you, and she's very much like, you look terrible. What happened to you?
It's been a long couple of days, Fran. It's been a long couple of days.
Obviously. And you guys, right around now, hear this familiar chime from the middle of the zoo. And for you, Flick, it's more stark just because you have so many more injuries.
Yeah.
It takes a little longer for you. But then blood starts trickling into the office from under the grate, from who knows where, pulling in from out of the vent. It's coming from everywhere, and it just starts snaking its way up into your wounds as they start closing. And Franny's eyes get really wide. What's happening here? What is that? Meanwhile, Jade, something similar is happening to you, and the peregrine falcon pauses, speechless.
I also pause, speechless. I'm going to be mimicking the expression that she's making until further notice. I act just as surprised as she is. I am committed to this bit.
Okay.
So, did I observe the pins that Ears pulled out?
Mm-hmm.
Did she set explosives, or did she undo the lock?
She undid the lock. It just needs to be opened.
Okay.
So, the peregrine falcon is speechless before finally, what's happened? What is that?
What's going on here? What's going on here?
I've never seen anything like no. And you see this like realization. I have. You're one of them.
Fuck.
Huh.
And you see that she's reaching around kind of like with her foot, in the way that birds can. And she's trying to subtly get to these handcuffs that are on her hip.
Oh, she's going for her cuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Can I pull her gun?
I'm going to let you commit a caper to do that.
Theoretically, I'm not good at this one, so fingers crossed. 8.
8. Success with a consequence. So the consequence is, does she get to scratch you for a point of damage?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah,
so,
she can have that scratch. That's fine.
So she stops going for her cuffs when she sees you going for a gun. You grab it just before she slices and swipes at you for a point of damage.
That's fair. I deserved that one, but we're going to be good now, aren't we?
You freak.
Yes.
And she looks just flabbergasted, and you have her, Alejandro. You see this. Jade has this lady like basically between a rock and a hard place. There is a safe door behind her, and there is a Jade with a gun.
All right. Well, I'm gonna see if I can quietly and carefully open the door.
Okay. So Alejandro comes out from where he was around the corner, and the door opens. So you get the first door open. There's still the combination door and the rotary door.
We still need a little ears for this.
Well,
you go ahead, Robin. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say then we need to figure out where those guys went.
And the Peregrine Falcon looks to you, looks to the door. What are you doing here?
Ask yourself if you really want the details to that.
Did you come for her?
Her.
And realizing that you didn't know, the Peregrine Falcon shuts up.
I really don't think that now is the time. It's really not a smart move to be giving me that much information and not the rest of it.
Go ahead and start spitting. While you're doing that, Flick, you and Franny can get out of the office.
9, Steven.
9. Perfect. So what are you doing, Flick? You can get the door open. You're with Franny.
She got cuffs on her.
She does.
You know what? I'm going to open the door, go through it, and just before I do, I'm going to hip check her. Back in and shut it and keep the key.
Okay, go for a bop.
All right. In theory, I'm not good at these.
Okay, we'll see.
Well, that's doubles. Let's see. That's bop. All right, so that is a 9. It's gonna be an 8 with my -1 ongoing.
Okay.
Oh, doubles and an ally boss. I mean, doubles and a neutral boss.
Doubles and a neutral boss. Okay. So doubles and a neutral boss is going to get you success with consequence.
Yes, it does.
And that's it? I think that's it. It says doubles with a neutral boss, success with consequence, nothing else.
Doubles. So
I think that one hasn't been developed yet, maybe?
Nah, that's right, because the bosses exasperate whatever's going on when they show up.
Oh, okay.
So because it's the neutral boss, and it's not good or bad, it stays the same.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you pick the consequence. When you hip check her, do you either have her grab onto you and pull you with her, or does she get hurt?
Damn, she gets hurt.
Steven, that's a good one.
She gets hurt.
She gets hurt. So you hip check her, get out the door, slam it shut, and you watch as her head hits the corner of her desk. And she falls to the ground unconscious. And there is blood coming out of that wound.
God damn it. Can I check on her real quick?
Yeah, you can check on her. Put your peepers to work.
Because she's unconscious, so in theory she's unconscious.
And just so you know, this put your peepers to work is going to determine how bad off she is.
Okay, that is a 12, 11.
11. She is just unconscious. It's just a little blood. She's fine.
Okay.
So you get out the room. I presume you lock the door behind you.
Yes.
Okay. And meanwhile, remember that 9 that you got, Robin, for your success with the consequence?
Yes.
So I'm going to let you choose. Does the Peregrine Falcon give you some of the information that you want and then try to make a break for it and fight you? Or is she complicit and offers to help you with something if you let her go?
Oh, I would much rather have the latter.
Okay. So she looks at you and she's like, if you will let me go and you keep it quiet, I can open those doors for you.
Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty much like what we want. What do you think, bud? And I looked at Alejandro, and I do not use names.
Works for me.
But I need to warn you, this is decency talking.
Okay.
If you let her out, there's no telling what she'll do.
I think we better get a look at this.
And so she will put the combination in, and as she puts in the combination, these she looks very hesitant, like she's even still debating, did she make the wrong choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she puts in the last number, and the double doors open. She puts in the rotary combination for the safe door, and the entire thing and opens up as well. And you see a hallway that tees off into what looks like twin passages that would lead into bigger openings. Lights flick on as the door opens automatically. And Flick, you get here as the Peregrine Falcon opens the last of the doors.
I lean into Jasper Jade. What'd I miss?
I'll tell you after.
And the Falcon sort of like doesn't turn her back to you and just kind of like sidles along the wall. And then the second she can get around the corner, she's gone.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to stop her. Like, we'll be out pretty quick. Hopefully. What do we see in here, Steven? Oh, sorry, Ted.
Do we know what we're supposed to be acquiring, or did only ears have that knowledge?
We don't know.
High or low?
Low.
It's high. So you don't know. Ears knows. You don't. You only knew it was key to her plans.
All right, well, we need to see what's in here, and worst case scenario, take everything we can.
Okay. So right or left?
Semper Lateralis. You guys feel free to disagree with me if you want.
Nah, it's Robin's the boss, so.
Okay. Are you good with that, Dave?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Good adventurers go left. So, you guys come into this huge area, and it's actually food storage, but you notice that behind the food storage shelves are these secondary shelves that are kind of like between the shelves and the wall. Like the shelves haven't been pushed back all the way, but they're built into the ground. And it is refrigerated in here. It is cold. You can see your breath. So if you were cold-blooded, it would be more of a problem. For you guys, it's just going to start hurting you if you stay in here for too long, but you're just looking around right now. And behind these shelves are other shelves with evidence. Everything from guns to organs in jars to papers, Go ahead and put your papers to work to see what you find. I'm going to get my D100 for this.
10 total.
10 total.
My dice are on fire tonight.
Okay. So you got 10. What did everybody else get?
Oh, I don't have that -1 anymore.
You don't have the -1 anymore. You reset.
Yeah, so I am sitting at a 10.
A 10. All right.
I've got a 9.
A 9. Okay. Oh, okay. So we'll start with Jade. Jade, as you're perusing at your eye level, something catches your eye. Something weird. Something familiar. Something that reminds you of your very first night that you remember together with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
You find a bottle, half drunk, of blood moonshine.
Snagging that.
Okay. Flick. As you're looking, you find newspaper articles, things that didn't make the headlines. Things that maybe should have made the headlines, but definitely didn't. Something about a golf cart accident and a well-to-do doe deer who was in the crash and supposedly fatally wounded. If you recall from Goatsby's party much earlier, this particular person is Daisy Buck, wife of Tom Buck, who's a well-known baker. She died. But your 10 affords you some extra information. And that 10 tells you that as you look at the scene with this accident, it looks like there's some sort of weird pattern to the blood. Something that maybe shouldn't be in this particular picture because it would let certain individuals know something. It looks like the blood is streaming in a line that is much too neat for a splatter. You can tell by the lighting, this picture was taken at midnight. And as for Alejandro, you find some papers, most of them useless, though weirdly, I almost would say familiar. It's not that you've seen these papers, but you've seen this handwriting. You start thumbing through it, and it's weird. It's like you want to say you know who did this. You want to know what happened. You're not quite sure. Go ahead and give me a get out of a jam for this, just because of the nature of how it's going to work.
So that is going to be a 12.
Okay. So you look on these papers and your vision just and you find yourself now looking down at similar handwriting yet again, just as you're about to leave. You remember this. This was shortly before you got to the zoo. This handwriting was done by the leader of your particular sect, of whatever this strange amalgamation of belief that you have held and pieced back together is. This person wrote this, and it has notes about coming to a new country to hide, to keep the book safe, to keep the secret safe. Someone unlocked the worst parts of the book, the parts that let them make monsters. Your vision returns to you here and now in this moment. And underneath the leaflets, you find a piece of paper. I'm going to let you choose your consequence for this.
All right.
Is the paper torn to the point that it's not decipherable fully what's on it? You just get a gist of it. Or is it that you know what this paper is and it's going to have a negative impact on one of your companions?
Any preferences, guys?
It's your call, man.
I think that the latter would be way more interesting to the plot.
All
Just
right.
saying.
That was the direction I was leaning. So, option B.
Woo.
Okay. So, you know that this particular paper is in a language that, while you don't read it, you can get the gist of it. And it says, more or less, that anyone who's taken the blood moonshine incomplete can be turned into monsters. But more specifically, while they'll gain immortality for a time, it will eat away at them if it's incomplete. And you can also find among these scribbled notes that there were 3 doses given to animals very similar to your companions. And one of them was incomplete.
Oh, we got to take these notes.
Okay. Those are the things that you guys find of interest and note here in this vault.
So, we were supposed to get here so Ears could open the safe.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what Ears was supposed to be taking from the safe?
No.
No, but you've all found stuff that could potentially be that thing.
So I guess we take it all. Do we think Bunny Malone is the person? Is the animal?
Is the predator?
No, not the predator, but the one that's got the incomplete version. Unless we think the predator is the incomplete.
No.
But
My
also
understanding was that
small-
it's one of us.
Mm-hmm. It's one of you guys.
Oh. It's probably Carl. Fucking Carl.
So is there anything to the other side, or is that what we've found is looking at both sides?
So that's what you found just looking at the one side.
All right, let's go to the right.
All right. All right. You go to the right, and you find that there is a barred door that's very much like those doors that you find in solitary confinement. This is more of a door to keep something in rather than keep someone out.
Yeah, because it's a barred door. We don't want people singing, right?
Oh man, is there a slit or anything?
There's a lock. Does
I
anyone have lock picking tools?
I was thinking more of something to see in, to look in on the prisoner, like a food slot.
Yeah, you can look in.
Yeah, I definitely want to look in.
Okay. You look in, and you see what you see turns your stomach. It is a room, dark, with a spotlight sort of in the center. You see what looks like a surgical table with a body strapped down to it. There are implements of all manner of surgeries and torture elements. like someone has been experimenting on this body. Someone has been trying to figure something out. And the thing that horrifies you most about it is she's breathing.
Oh no.
Were you able to determine what kind of animal it is?
A deer.
Oh no.
No. Oh dear is what you're trying to say.
Yes. But also it is a deer. What'd you say, Robin?
Maybe. I was definitely muted. All right, maybe there will be consequences if we let her out, but there will also be consequences if we don't, and I'm not entirely sure I'm comfortable letting her bear them.
Get this door open.
Okay.
So where's our safecracker at?
Your safecracker is leading the people that were going to fight you on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, being chased by a hippo and a gator.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of a lock is it?
A keyed lock.
Okay. It's like a
Is it
padlock?
No, it's a lock built into the door.
Okay.
Does anyone have lock picking tools?
I'm trying to remember if I do or not, because if I did, I didn't write it down, but I don't think that I do because I was the one that ended up in the cage and I couldn't do anything about it.
I have Franny's keys.
You do have Franny's keys.
I will check them to see if any of them match. No, strike that. I will spend a marker to find the key that matches, if the zookeeper permits.
I will permit this. Franny has a key. And it opens. The deer inside seems to be sleeping.
Yeah, she's probably sedated. I would have done that too if I were doing crazy experiments on a living person, because otherwise they're gonna wiggle.
Are they leather straps, cloth
Yep.
straps holding her down?
Yep.
Can we just pick this gurney up and go?
You could.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Let's make this Bunny Malone's problem.
You could. When you approach, the thing that you notice that's really strange, all of those implements are clean. And there is no sign of injury on this deer anywhere. And what's more, you now can recognize this deer. She doesn't have her nice clothes, her jewelry on.
I mean, let's face it, it's not that strange. Like, we've kind of witnessed this every day for the last couple of days, so.
Seems like this Blood Moonshine is getting around a lot more than anyone bargained for.
Yeah. Story of my life.
All right, so how do we get her out of here?
Pick up the gurney and go.
You can do that.
We should probably find a back door.
I will need you guys to get out of a jam. This is going to be a complex test. So it's going to be basically 3 of you having to do it. You need 2 successes.
Oh, well, there's
Even
one.
if there's consequence.
10.
Okay.
8.
Then 11 with doubles.
All right. 10 and 11 will do it. The 8 puts a small wrench in your plans. We will say that I'll let Dave choose since it's his consequence. Has Franny gotten out of her office and sees you as you leave? Or has Ears been captured?
Oh, shit. Franny got out of their office. We can't have yours getting captured.
Okay. All right. So you guys are, you make your way clean all the way to the back. It seems like everything's in lockdown, even though the sirens have stopped. Everyone's sort of like hunkered down at this point, waiting on an all clear. And just as you reach this door and you're about to exit, you hear the cocking of a pistol.
Oh, no.
And you turn behind you to see Franny. Blood still trickled, a little bit dried down her face. I can't let you do this, Flick.
Well, Franny, I can't let you stop me.
She points the gun right at you. I mean it. You don't know what that thing is.
I still have the other gun, right?
You do?
I'm gonna point that back at her.
I will just step in the line of fire and just take it and go. Get Carl back.
Seriously? All right. Trust you. Good luck. I'm gonna put a tone on that, like just a little bit of one, and then we can go.
And so,
because I haven't forgotten that she called me hairdo.
Yep. Way back when. So you two take the gurney, and you see Fran is frozen. Flick. What are you? What have you become?
I don't
know. And what have you become? What was that back there?
I don't know, Franny. We're trying to figure it out. And right now, they got Carl. We're getting them back one way or another. And if it's over my dead body, then so be it. Although I'm not sure you could kill me if you wanted to.
That's what I was just about to ask. You're one of whatever that thing was.
I don't think that justifies what was going on here.
They were trying to figure out what made that happen. Because the last time that they found someone like that, they had half of another person. I don't know. It wasn't even sewn onto them. They just were the same thing now. Something's doing all this, Flick. Something's making monsters in the zoo.
So we kind of know Barnaby was making the monsters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen anymore. That's been taken care of.
When?
I say whenever it was taken care of.
Days ago?
So then who made the thing that appeared last night?
Oh no. Well, that's not good. What thing appeared last night? Is this something we know about or
The
don't
Displacer Beast.
Oh yeah, but that was already made. Like,
do you describe it?
Yeah, I describe it. You mean the Ebony? What was left of Ebony?
No.
Is that what you're talking about? What was it?
She licks her lips and looks around. She sort of like walks behind you, points the gun at your back, and she's like, come on. Come with me.
I will go with her.
But if you make a false move, I'm going to fire this gun.
I've been getting shot a lot lately.
And she will take you back to her office, and she unlocks a filing cabinet. She motions for you to sit down.
I will sit down, make myself comfortable.
And she will pull out some files and tosses them in front of you. And you see there's information on a couple missing persons cases. One of them is for a vampire bat, and one of them is for Jackie Dragna. Both of them are known to be in the underworld in different capacities. And you then see a picture, it's half shadowed, of what looks like you would recognize as like a standard fare dragon. But it's actually Jackie Dragna has been fused with these bat wings now. It's still happening, Flick. Whatever you think you stopped didn't stop it. We're trying to keep it hush-hush. And it seems to be these people that there's rumors that they become impervious to injury for a day.
Depends on the critter. Sometimes it's more than a day.
And if you're one of them, that means you're a target.
It was coming out of the circus. And it all came from... Alejandro, where are you from again?
We already hopped out of there? But are you just asking
No,
me
where are you from?
Yeah, where is Alejandro from?
The jungles of whatever this world's version of Peru is.
That's okay. I thought, yeah. So it all came out. It all came out of Peru. I don't know a lot of the details, but whatever it is, it's not been good, and we've been doing what you've been trying to do.
Well then, look, Flick. And she takes a seat across the desk so that you're looking at each other. I'm going to level with you. I don't know what's going on, but this is bigger than any of the bosses. It's bigger than everything. And we haven't figured out yet if this predator thing is the one making the monsters or if it's one of them.
Well, there's a third option.
What's the third option?
That it was imported from Peru. That it's something different.
So you think your buddy's tied up in it? The Jaguar?
Not in the way you think. He because we only had he had the flashbacks. We don't know anything about it.
Right, you don't know that you just know he spaces out.
Yeah, and
just know you guys know that there's a book because Barnaby was talking about it. And in the vault he would have mentioned that he found some pages because we kind of had a brief discussion there.
Yeah, so it's some kind of cult or religion down from the south that's come up this way. He didn't bring it. It didn't come with him. But I don't know. I don't think he's wrapped up in it. Like I said, not in the way you think.
Start spitting.
All right. That is a magnetism is not that great. That's not my worst. So that is a 9.
Franny meets your eyes. I'm not going to lie to you, Flick. If anyone finds out that I let them go, I'll be lucky to be tortured to death. What's more, I don't know. Half of me feels like I should strap you to a table and make you take her place. And then half of me really, really wants you to not be the reason that all this is happening.
Really? Is that where you're at now, Franny? Strapping people to tables and torturing them?
I do what I have to do to keep people safe.
Who are you keeping safe? They're still dying. Monsters are still being made. All you're doing is making more suffering. Maybe for the next monster, you should look in the mirror.
We don't threaten innocent shopkeepers. We don't extort people for their money. We don't distribute devil's liquor that destroys lives. We are cleaning up this town, something the Fuzz could never do.
You got that part right.
Something you could never do, Flick.
You can't
If
stop.
you did, it wouldn't have happened, and you know it.
Damn it, Franny. Don't throw that in my face. Don't ever do that again. Or the monster you're worried about, the thing you're afraid of, will have nothing to do with this stuff that's going on. Don't use her like that, ever. And I kind of like lean in and loom. Just because there's bad things going on, just because there's monsters going in our zoo, there's no reason for you to lose your humanity and become one of the monsters. It's inevitable. These laws are stupid, they make no sense, and they're gonna fall. You'll see.
You just don't get it. Flick, I lost my humanity the day she died. When she died, everything good in this world died with her. This is nothing but a waking nightmare for me. And these monsters, they're nothing compared to what I've already seen. I'm just trying to do the best I can to keep it from destroying everybody else's world.
That's all any of us are doing. Damn it, Franny. It's not what you think. I'm not running with the outfits all of a sudden because I want a place. I want to be the one to slip the knife between Machine Gun Otto's ribs. I want to make sure they tear each other apart before I do. I want to see them all fall. Not even my group know what this is really about. I'm going to make them pay. Every last one of them. You have your ways, I have mine.
And you see she like kind of covers her mouth and these tears start coming that she really doesn't want to come right now. And you don't know if they're angry or sad.
Yeah. And I give her the hardest look a sugar glider can give.
And she avoids your gaze. I want so badly to hate you, and I can't.
Don't worry, I hate me enough for both of us.
How did we get like this? How did we get here?
It was that day. That's how we got here. When Machine Guns Otto's crews opened up on Al Capone people, and we were just having a family outing. Just me, you, and our little girl. It was so chaotic. Everything happened so fast.
I tried to get her. I tried to scoop her up. I couldn't. She was already dead in my arms when I got to her.
I know. I was there.
But why did it have to be her?
I ask myself that every morning. Why couldn't I have been me instead? Why couldn't it have been anyone instead? But I don't have an answer for these, Franny. All I have now is my anger and my rage and my need to make sure they all pay. My plan was to use Al Capone as a weapon against Machine Gun Otto so I could get in closer, so I could take care of it myself once and for all. I still plan to, still going to. I don't know what this thing is in me. I don't know what they did to us, to me and my crew. but I'm going to use it. I don't care what it costs me. So you can use that gun. You can pull your trigger if you want. It won't stop me. I will be back. And I'm going to make them pay.
I can't shoot you, Flick. You know that. Just go.
And
Flick will figure it out.
Flick will get up and turn his back on Franny and he'll walk out. You know, his tears are kind of like running down his face, combination of sorrow, sadness, rage, and all these emotions that he's been holding back. And he will go to meet up with the rest of his mob.
Okay. As you start to leave, she'll just Flick. I just need you to know I loved you once.
And I'll kind of like stop and just do like the like I won't fully turn. I just kind of turn my head to the side a little. I know, Franny, and I loved you too. Whatever love we had, those bonds were broken and shattered, like our little girl. And I just walk out.
And you can get back to everybody else. Because you guys succeeded, you do have what Bunny Malone wanted, which was the half-finished bottle of blood moonshine.
Not the crazy deer. Got it.
We could probably score a profit off of getting her back to her people, though. Like, we can get some ransom peanuts. It's fine.
Have some blood moonshine and murder deer. Lock the doors and leave.
So you guys, you get to Bunny Malone's place.
Before we get back to Bunny Malone's place, does Ears catch up to us?
I was gonna say you meet Ears there at Bunny Malone's place. She's already there. She's in the middle of explaining what happened and getting chided by Bunny Malone for what she's done. And standing there among them, free and able to walk around and do whatever, actually looking pretty well off and like he's well rested and maybe drunk a little bit, is Carl. So we will pick up with your interaction with Bunny Malone next time.
Nice. Thank you, Stephen, for the wild ride. This is fantastic. I can't wait until next week, folks. Remember, we still got the Kickstarter going on. It is it's going to be razor tight if we do make it, but with your help, I'm sure we could get across the finish line. If you haven't backed, please go back. You can check out the quick start rules for free, and if you can't back, please share it out amongst your friends. Maybe it'll be something they would be interested. With that, until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.